Boys and girls, Grobs again. I've got another interesting little build for you guys tonight. I hope you're all excited. I'm freaking excited. Alright, obviously very early stages. I just hit maps. I've done 1 or 2 maps. I've did all my labs and everything, and I just want to show you what it does before I explain why. So we're just running a tier 3, nothing hectic. I literally just hit maps. Bit of early res, less recovery, which doesn't matter for us. Anyway, I'll show you what we do, and then I'll talk to you about how we do it. It's a pretty cool build, good clear speed, good boss damage, and a lot of survivability actually. So, we're pretty speedy, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful bleeding of the eyes with all the MTX going on right now. It's pretty fun. You literally spam your flask and hold right click. I'm just going to run it. I'm not going to loot right now. I just want to run it and show you guys what we do for bosses and stuff. I'm just going to keep running around the map. So literally the playstyle here is hold right click and spam flasks. That's it. It's pretty high skill cap. You gotta be pretty insane mechanically to play this, as you can tell. Cool. Alright, let's go up the middle. Go in the boss room. I'll show you what we do for bosses. So for the bosses, we weapon swap, we ball lightning, and we can face tank them. Right. Let's do a metamorph. Unless it's nuts. I'm obviously very undergeared still. So bear in mind, it's going to change a lot from here. But we should be able to pop flask and we should be able to face tank these mobs. Alright. So, you've seen the build. Now let me explain it a little bit so you guys have an idea of what we're doing. So we're scaling ball lightning. That's the main ability we're using here for single target. And initially I wanted to play ball lightning. I didn't know how to scale it or how to play it. So I needed it to be fast. I needed it to hit hard. But then my problem was I couldn't move fast enough to like shoot and clear because you're stuck into that many casts. So my solution to that was a weapon swap to 2 Poet's Pens. Wearing Insanity Gloves for ridiculous attack speed with Barrage, faster proj, faster attacks, and Culling Strike, which the quality on Culling Strike gives us attack speed, and the quality on faster projectiles gives us attack speed, so that we can attack nice and fast, and Lightning Warp is super quick. Now the only other way to get Lightning Warp that fast is to link it with less duration and Swift Affliction. Right there, that's it. The other pen I've got Controlled Destruction, Lightning Penetration, and Arc, just for killing. So this is what I clear with, and right now my gem levels are pretty low. I'm not doing that much damage yet, and it's still pretty smooth so far. As for the chest, running a Cloak of Defiance, the reason for this is Mind Over Matter, and it gives us an extra 10% of damage taken from mana before life. So you can see our mana pool is already at 4,000, 3,000. I run Herald of Ice. You don't have to. I run it because I like the shatters. Shatters are cool. They make everything look cool, sound cool. So for me, that's important. We obviously have a big mana pool, big life pool, big shield pool, and they're all going to grow. Now, the reason we stack so much mana, we pretty much grab all the mana we can on the tree. We're going to grab this down here. Cast speed, mana. We grab this node here, right? Gain 4% of maximum mana as extra energy shield. And we also grab this node on the Ascendancy, which is gains 20% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield. And we're playing Hierophant, obviously. Now, what this does for us, we stack a lot of mana. We got a lot of energy shield. We also run the Mind of the Council helmet, which recovers 3% of mana every time we shock an enemy. Now, obviously, Arc shocks quite a bit when we're clearing. Shocks quite a bit, but when we're facing a boss, these balls can shock multiple times each on a boss. So we're constantly shocking. Our mana never dies. We can't literally run out of mana. It's impossible to run out of mana. So that's our defensive and offensive. It gives us lots of extra mana, but it gives us a lot of defense. That's that helmet. Pledge of Hands is just good because it gives us level 30 Greater Spell Echo, which obviously makes us cast multiple times. I still run it with a Spell Echo as well, which works, and faster casting just so it's even quicker getting all those juicy lightning balls out. Energy Leech, Lightning Damage, and Lightning Pen. These might change. I'm just showing you guys a quick setup that you can do if you want to start this character, that's all. We're running a ring with Assassin's Mark on hit, so that's our curse, just for extra crit, an extra power charge generation. We're running just a belt with a lot of resists, another ring with a lot of resists, and life gained and mana gained for each enemy hit by our spells. And because Ball Lightning hits so many times per ball, and we cast so fast, it keeps us topped up. This is why we can face tank. Skyforth boots we're running because They give us a lot of flat mana, and they give us power charge on crit, but more importantly, they give us stun immunity. Because that line that says stun threshold is based on 500% of your mana instead of life, we can't get stunned because we have so much mana, and it technically takes 5 times that mana. Anyway, that's how the calculation works. We're at Acquire the Storm for the lightning bolt, which does quite a bit of damage. It's nice for mobbing. It gives us lightning damage. It gives us lots of extra mana, as you can see, 20%, and our critical strike chance is increased by uncapped lightning resistance. So the more lightning resistance we have, the more crit chance we have as well, which is just nice. As for heralds, auras, golems, run a lightning golem just for extra cast speed, because cast speed gives us benefits for not only ball lightning, but also lightning warp and our barrage for attack speed. You can play around with some other auras and stuff. I wouldn't though use too many, because you want as much mana unreserved as possible. There are upgrades coming to the build, like a Watcher's Eye that gives us ES on hit if you run Discipline, so I'll run a Discipline then instead of Herald of Ice, because you don't want to reserve mana. As for Flasks, guys, really basic right now. The only one that's important for me right now is Bleeding. I'm running it Series Promise just for extra damage and leech, essentially. Movement speed, a normal life flask. We have 0 regen on this build, so if we do take damage, we have to hit to get it back, but you get it back ridiculously fast if you can touch any mobs. Other than that, guys, if you're going to level this character, come straight through to Retribution, and then I would cut up here. I would cut straight up here that I haven't spec'd into right now. I've unspec'd it, and grab Elemental Overload as soon as you can. That just helps us do a lot of extra damage before we crit. Then I would rush all the way through here, the Witch area. I would rush up and grab the crit from Shadow Witch, the crit from the Shadow area, cast speed. Cast speed makes this build really nice. Area of Effect is really nice for Ball Lightning too, and this crit. Once you have all those crit nodes, I would drop Elemental Overload, because you're going to be critting enough and doing more damage by not running Elemental Overload. And then you can really fill in the tree however you want. I would grab Mind of Matter early if you're feeling squishy, and drop it as soon as you can equip your Cloak of Defiance. As for Ascendancy, the order that I would go in is Normal and Cruel. You grab Illuminated Devotion and Divine Guidance. They're just really good quality of life. Especially Divine Guidance, it just gives us lots of mana. It gives us extra damage, is taken from mana before life, and Transfiguration of the Mind, which just gives us spell damage and stuff like that. Merciless Lab, I would get Sanctuary of Thought, which just gives us even more tankiness, area of effect, stuff like that, and then Arcane Blessing is the last one. Or you can take Conviction of Power if you want to be tankier, because all that does is give us endurance charges as well as power charges. I haven't played around with that yet because I'm just hitting maps and I'm early game, so I don't really need to be tankier. And for those of you that are going to ask, and people will ask, Area of Effect, why do we grab it for Ball Lightning? When you do use Ball Lightning, it can spark, it almost has like arcs that come off it, and Area of Effect scales those. So when I throw one down the middle of my screen, it hits the top, bottom, and sides of my screen. So it clears really, really well, and it hits a mob more because it stays within range for longer. There's no point in grabbing Blast Radius or the other Area of Effect node, because it doesn't actually add a radius. We're at the max right here, unless we grab all of them and the ones down here, but that's a bit of a waste of points. As always, guys, there will be a POB up, and there will more than likely be a forum guide up as well. I just want to play it a bit more, make sure it's going to be as good as I think it's going to be. But yeah, if you have any questions, chuck it in the YouTube comments below. Click that sub button, leave the notifications on, and happy hunting. Get some mirror drops, boys. See you guys. Happy New Year as well. Peace.